Welcome back to Dream Car Update, the channel where innovation, emotion, and imagination come together on wheels. Here we don't just explore cars, we explore stories that move the heart, journeys that inspire, and vehicles that redefine the idea of freedom. From futuristic supercars to luxurious motorhomes, we bring you stories that prove a vehicle can be more than just metal and motion. It can be the setting for unforgettable moments. Today's story is a heartwarming tale about love, second chances, and the magic of unexpected encounters on the open road. It's called A Single Father Hesitated When His Son Invited a Woman to Dinner. He never expected she was a CEO. And yes, this story unfolds inside a gleaming 2026 motorhome, a place where life changes, hearts heal, and destiny parks right at your doorstep. So, buckle up, settle in, and let this story remind you that sometimes the road you least expect takes you exactly where you need to be. Main script. Approx. 250 words. The sun dipped low over the edge of the mountains, casting a golden glow over the quiet campground. The smell of pine and fresh air mixed with the soft hum of the 2026 Horizon LX motorhome, a sleek silver masterpiece of comfort and technology. Inside, a man named Daniel sat at the small dining table, tapping on his laptop, lost in his thoughts. Daniel was 42, a single father, and a full-time mechanic from Calgary. He had bought the motorhome 6 months earlier after deciding his son, Ethan, deserved something more than city life. Together, they traveled across Canada chasing sunsets and collecting memories. The motorhome wasn't just a vehicle. It was their moving home, their fortress, and sometimes their only companion. Ethan, his 10-year-old son, peeked through the window with excitement. "Dad, the campsite next to us just got new people." "There's a lady with a cool electric truck." Daniel smiled faintly, eyes still on his laptop. "That's nice, buddy. Don't go bothering anyone before dinner, okay?" "But she waved at me," Ethan said with a grin. "She looks nice. Maybe we can invite her to eat with us?" Daniel paused. He looked around the cozy space. 2 chairs, a little fold-out table, and a half-cooked pot of stew bubbling on the stove. He sighed. "Ethan, we don't even know her. She probably has her own plans." Ethan frowned, but didn't give up. "You always say we should be kind, Dad. Maybe she's traveling alone. People shouldn't eat alone." That line hit Daniel harder than expected. He'd eaten alone for years before Ethan was born, and after Ethan's mother had left, loneliness had become something he tried not to feel anymore. He finally nodded. "Okay, champ. But you ask her politely." Within minutes, Ethan was outside, his small figure walking confidently toward the neighboring campsite. Daniel shook his head with a soft chuckle. His son had a way of getting into people's hearts, fast. 10 minutes later, Ethan returned, followed by a tall woman in a black jacket and jeans. Her short auburn hair shimmered in the fading sunlight, and her smile was gentle yet confident. "Hi," she said, extending her hand. "I'm Claire. Your son is quite the little gentleman. He invited me over for dinner, and I couldn't say no to homemade stew." Daniel hesitated for a second before shaking her hand.
"Daniel, nice to meet you."
Sorry if he was too forward. "Not at all," she replied warmly. "I've been on the road for days. It's nice to see some friendly faces." The 3 of them settled inside the motorhome. Claire looked around in admiration. "Wow, this is beautiful. Is this the 2026 Horizon LX model? I heard it has full solar support and a self-leveling suspension system." Daniel smiled, impressed. "You know your motorhomes." Claire laughed lightly. "I should. I helped design the solar battery system that powers them." Daniel's eyes widened. "You're an engineer?" "Not exactly," she said modestly. "I'm the CEO of Solaritech. We partner with vehicle companies to make sustainable energy systems. I'm just taking some time off, trying to reconnect with what really matters." The air grew warmer, not just from the stew simmering on the stove, but from the unexpected spark of curiosity and respect that passed between them. Dinner was easy and full of laughter. Ethan told his stories about camping, fishing, and his dream of becoming a race car engineer. Claire listened intently, her eyes soft with kindness. She seemed comfortable, grounded, even though she carried the confidence of someone who ran a company. As night settled, the 3 of them sat outside under the stars. The motorhome's LED awning lights glowed softly, casting a cozy warmth. Claire looked up and smiled. "You know, when you run a company, You forget how big the world really is. It's easy to get lost in meetings and numbers. But this, she gestured to the stars. This feels real. Daniel nodded. Yeah, out here it's just you, the road, and the sky. No deadlines, no noise, just time. Ethan yawned, curling up on a blanket. Claire smiled at him. He's a great kid. You've done a good job, Daniel. Daniel looked at his sleeping son, pride softening his eyes. I've done my best. It's not easy raising a kid alone. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing enough. You are, Claire said gently. You gave him love and adventure. That's more than most parents can offer. Silence settled between them, comfortable and calm. The fire crackled softly. For the first time in a long while, Daniel didn't feel alone. The next morning, Claire brewed coffee while Daniel fixed the motorhome's step motor. They worked side by side effortlessly, sharing quiet laughter and small talk. When it was time for her to leave, Ethan ran up and hugged her. Are you coming back someday? She smiled. Maybe. The road has a funny way of bringing people back together. She handed Daniel a card. In case you ever need solar upgrades or just someone to talk to. He smiled. I'll keep that in mind. Weeks passed, but Daniel couldn't forget her. He found himself checking his messages more often than usual, even looking at the card now and then. One afternoon, while parked near Banff, his tablet pinged. It was an email from Claire. Hey, partner. How's the horizon holding up? I might be nearby for a conference. Think Ethan would like to show me his new campsite? Daniel chuckled softly and replied, Only if you bring your coffee again. That weekend, the Silver Horizon LX motorhome was parked by a lake, sunlight glinting off its solar roof. Ethan was skipping stones and Claire sat beside Daniel, both smiling as the boy laughed. Funny, Claire said softly. I came on this trip to find peace, but maybe I found something better. Daniel turned to her. What's that? Home, she whispered. As the motorhome glowed under the setting sun, it stood not just as a marvel of modern engineering, but as a symbol of hope, connection, and second chances. For Daniel, it wasn't just a machine. It was where his life changed, where love